All right, so here's something interesting as I do my Chick-fil-A musings, restaurant musings here. Going through Proverbs, I've been going 17, 20, 23, going back, and just trying to focus on a lot of the things that are there. But I just opened my Bible this morning, and I'm in 18, and it's interesting. Just as I'm scanning, how many verses in here are about the tongue? So, verse 28 of verse 17 says, "Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding." Sometimes it's a good idea to shut up, and I know that. I'm preaching to myself. There's been a lot of things I've said that I tremendously regret in my life, and I can't change them. But then look at verse 4 of 18. "The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook." Oh, by the way, go back up to 17, verse 27. "He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit." So this just sort of came out just as I'm scanning. So verse 6, "A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes." A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Verse 8, "The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly." Look at verse 13, "He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is a folly and shame unto him." Look with me, if you would, at, I know there was at least one more here. Look at verse 21. "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." And so just, chapter 19, verse 1, "Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool." So I just want you to see that if God puts that much of an emphasis in his word, and just a few verses here that are together, pretty close to each other, we better guard our tongue. We better guard our tongue. We better be careful what we say. We better look more to encourage. We better, and I know there's room for biblical contending for the faith, reproof, rebuke. I'm not talking about that. The thought of being careful what we say, and we are accountable for it. So I would encourage you to look at 17, 18, and the beginning of 19, and look at these verses. Powerful, powerful words. Amen.